Welcome back to Informed Sources. Tennessee is hundreds of miles away from the U.S. border with Mexico, but the volunteer state is sending help to that region to assist with the ongoing border crisis. Last month, Governor Lee committed to deploying 2 waves of Tennessee National Guard troops to Texas to help in their efforts to secure the border. We had a chance to speak with Governor Lee last weekend during his visit to see National Guard troops in Millington. He told us why he feels it's so important for Tennessee to be involved in solving the problems at the border.
Certainly, we have concerns about not only the people that are dying in our state because of the increased levels of fentanyl, hundreds of thousands of pounds of fentanyl crossing over the border and making their way into all of our states, but when you have criminals coming into this country, we should all be concerned about that.
Now, this is the first deployment of approximately 50 Tennessee National Guard members who volunteered to join the mission. You know, Representative, I know how it turned out when Tennessee went to Texas to fight for the Alamo, but why should Tennessee be doing a border battle with Texas now?
Well, this isn't the first time we've gone down to Texas. We recently, I believe, we sent some folks down with after hurricanes and sure. Other things. We tend to help those folks.
This is a little more political.
It is indeed more political. I think that, well, when you look at polling data from our residents, illegal immigration is one of the concerns about it, and the border crisis and the waves of people coming over has really ramped up, and there's some issues that go along with it. Governor Lee talked about whether or not these people have fully been vetted. That there's no review of who these folks are. Some are human trafficking, some are trafficking in illegal drugs, particularly with fentanyl being an issue. So all of those are issues that affect us and eventually migrate here. And so for us cooperating with the state of Texas, I don't have any issue with. But I will say this, is that what I really crave for our country is a reasonable immigration policy so that people can immigrate to our country. We just need to have a policy for legal immigration that works for everyone, and that's where I feel like we're a little bit stuck these days.
And if the Biden administration, as Republicans have suggested, is advocating its responsibility at the border, why shouldn't states get involved?
Well, the Biden administration is not abdicating its responsibility. Remember, the deal was imploded by the former president.
But there were other opportunities to pass other bills in the past 3 years.
Yeah, right. And so they're working on that, right? And let me say this. We have enough challenges here in Tennessee, that can be addressed by our National Guard, that can be where assistance can be made. And I would say if you're going to send troops to the border, let's send them to the border right there at State Line Road so we can protect the resources in Memphis that's going back to Mississippi.
And your colleague does bring up a point, because the administration, the Biden administration, is trying to shift the blame to Republicans, saying they won't come to the table, they won't try to fix this. Is this a political move by the governor of Tennessee to do this?
I think that I guess your definition of what is political. I think that what he's doing is that he's demonstrating to our citizenry that he hears their concerns, that he does realize that this is a real issue, and so he's taking tangible action, what is available to him within his sphere of control, and doing what he can.
And if that concern does lead to human trafficking, to drug trafficking, why shouldn't Tennessee get involved?
I mean, we should be fighting human trafficking and drug trafficking, period. And that's what we do that anyway. However, this is political. All of it is political. All of it is political, tied to the national political stage. And it's evident. We know that. I mean, we are in Tennessee, 4 states away. Right, and we're sending troops down there to Texas, who has a ton of resources and the manpower to secure the border if that's what they want to do. But we're in Tennessee. That's like Kentucky sending folks down there. Come on now, it's political.
They did.
Right, they did. Right.
All right. Well, let's move on. When we come back, we're going to jump into the debate over school vouchers at the state capitol. The House and Senate remain divided on how to execute the governor's plan. That's coming up next on Informed Sources.